Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of my gameplay series of Sumerians. I'm Icon. This is still version 0.10, so the really earliest version available of this game. And we're gonna today finish these town walls, I hope. And I want to build some really nice temple area here. Last episode we finished constructing those state farms here, and a few civilian farms have been set up. I went over here and set up a mud temple. Everything's looking pretty fine so far. Today we're waiting for those walls to be completed, and let's see. There's still a high demand on housing. Well, let's see. I want to check out if I have enough crops to feed those guys. Well, let's see. We produced 1.9k and we consumed, well, it's a pretty close call, to be honest, but let's see. I'm gonna try and build a few more housing zones. I can downgrade them or remove them if things go crazy anyways, so it's not like I'm bound to this decision forever. But I felt like a few more workers might be actually useful. Because when I check out my my readout here, there's way more jobs available than I have people, so probably a good time to hire a few more people. So let's check out what the constructors here are doing. Are they actually doing something useful? That's my big question here. Let's confirm a higher number of constructors here. And I just hope... Yeah, they went over there. Well, let's check out my first constructor shop. These guys are not even outside their area anymore. That's because there's nothing in their area to be built. So I'm going to tune them down and hope that this builder squad here will get the job done. It's still pretty hard for me to tell if there's anything happening or not. So this place here accepts all. So what are my transporters up to? They're producing bricks to no end. I'd really like to know how I'm able to improve this, because right now it seems like there's the issue that no mud is being transported here. So let's try one thing. I'm gonna try and store mud directly in their housing. Maybe that'll work. So my transport guys here, meanwhile, are transporting all the mud over to the brickyard. So let's see. Construction materials. Transport between storage buildings. So that's the kind of transporter I'd need. So how about trying to build one of those bad boys here, somewhere between all these agencies here. There we go. It's gonna be the logistics transporter. Maybe that'll work. Because these guys are not receiving their materials to work with, so we have to change that. They're immediately swarming out, though, to craft the transporter's workshop. No problem. So let's see, how's the job situation now? Available jobs. So doesn't really look like the situation went any better. Anyways, so I'm going to try and focus the transport between storage buildings for these guys. And hopefully this will do the trick. Meanwhile, these two fields don't ever get seeded out fully. So I want to try and increase the amount of farming workers. And also we're going to increase the amount of housing zones here. Because I feel like one reason could also be that there's just a severe lack of workers here. So let's increase this. Maybe this will solve some of my problems. Because consumption and production is... we're producing way more here. That's okay. Okay, so now let's check out what these guys are doing. Okay, first up they're transporting the harvest. Okay, that's completely okay, but afterwards. I really feel like this game would need a quicker game speed. Right now, it feels a little bit sluggish at times. So, first up, I want to increase the amount of transporters here. And I'm gonna buy them a few donkeys. And let's see, maybe this will do. This will change something here. Because the mud pit is in their vicinity, it should work. If it doesn't, I really have no clue what I need to do differently there, but let's wait for a sec. Because this builder's workshop is way too far from the riverlands to acquire his mud in the vicinity of himself. Like, there's not gonna be any mud here in this area. Never ever. So let's see. But theoretically, these guys should be able to do what they're supposed to. But right now, they're just busy transporting all the grains away. So I'd say what I'm going to do next is quite simple. Buying all the donkeys for all the transport businesses. Because that seems to be the easiest way to solve my problem here. Because right now, I can't tell if anything isn't working out as intended, or if it's just too much work for too few hands, and therefore let's get into the donkey business here. I'm just very surprised that nothing here came together, so let's try. Maybe if I put these guys onto logistics duty here too. Let's see what they'll do. Maybe this will do the trick. Alright, but I had also plans today to create beer. So we will need pottery. I didn't do that last time, didn't I? No. So pottery needs bricks. Producing bricks here. And we're not storing bricks anywhere. So there's the good question remaining where these bricks are disappearing into, but one thing at a time. Maybe they're just producing that few, who knows. So, things I'll do. I'll up the production of this mud pit, because we're gonna need it, I guess. And let's set up the pottery. Gonna set that up outside in the vicinity of this area. And the brewery will be inside the town, because I feel like that would be a fitting thing to do. So let's see if my plans work out as intended. Create a little bit of a pathway here to make sure everybody finds what he or she needs. Hey, and look at that. It seems like my problems are solved. So my transport guys now are busy fulfilling the deeds here. Awesome. Okay. But I'll leave these guys here busy too, because having extra hands for logistic between storage buildings is just golden. Not needing it too much right now, but I'm absolutely sure I'm going to need it later down the road. So another thing I wanted to do is create another brickyard, because bricks are such a widely used material in this game. And I'll just increase the production here a bit to make sure that later when we're building larger brick walls and such, I won't be seeing that kind of shortage again, because, you know, reasons. Alright, so pottery workshop. They produce... Wait a sec. Ah, yeah, of course. Oh, never mind. Me silly. I don't need that stuff. Oh. You use a clay pit for the pottery and not the mud pit. But amping up the production of the mud pit was completely okay, because I just want to have 2 brickyards, and therefore I hope that 1 mud pit is able to feed 2 brickyards. Like I mentioned several times before, I have no clue. So production materials. Right now moving construction materials. These guys are moving storage materials. These guys are moving food. These guys are moving storage materials too. So let's see what happens if I do a prioritization like that. Maybe this will work out nicely. So we're in the harvest phase. That's good. What's the zones saying? Okay. It's go crazy ping on the housing, but also there's a demand for security. So security is made by building guard posts, but well, I'm gonna slap down a guard post here. I feel like with all the industry happening here, and especially with the city gates in the vicinity, sounds like a decent idea. Here we go. Alright, so let's upgrade our transporter workshops with donkeys. It's really a huge power up for them. Okay. The brick production runs very smoothly too, like that. And beer is being produced. Our first beer. So with beer, you get the ability to pay beer also as an extra salary. And if you do so, the damage and spoilage level of houses will decrease. Just that's how I understood things so far. So let's see. I want to create a port. So let's do this. No, let's do the port here. And we're going to bring up the pathways alongside here. I hope this is still in the vicinity of some builders. Oh no, it isn't. So okay, so turns out I need another builder's workshop. Luckily these things don't cost you any upkeep or something like that, therefore I really don't mind. The only real investment you have to take is to make sure these guys get their materials from somewhere, but I'll just wait if that comes together or not. If not, they're gonna have another transporter right next to them, but I'm getting used to that. So let's see. These guys are moving goods like crazy. They're mostly transporting beer from one point to the other, aren't they? Okay. So let's do this like that. Let's see if that changes anything. You guys, you were on a roll and then you let me down again. At least the builders are busy again. But this is really a quite tedious thing here, so I really have no clue what's the best way to move the mud up here, apart from what I'm doing there. So, oh dear, this wall project is a lot more complicated than I expected. Ah, here, copper weapons can be used here to amplify the strength of these units. I see, I see. So yeah, this builder is never going to be able to fetch materials to this port. So I'm gonna delete that place. Well, maybe I'll need to delete the port here too and just accept that my port has to be here at that spot where I didn't really like that spot as much as I did the other, as I liked the other one, but well. This one should be at least supplyable. So, my workers are crawling around here. At least they are doing something somewhere, but here are active builders. So these guys are really just, yeah, they're just carrying the beer from A to B. And so are these. So let's amp up the amount of workers here too. And I'd say more houses. They want more houses. They shall receive more houses. I need more workers, you know. So there goes a handful of houses. Draw out some roads here. So let's check out my consumption though. Oh, I am consuming more than I am producing, so it's absolutely time to slap up a new state field here. Oh, we're gonna lose a few people this year, I guess. Yeah. There's gonna be a down bump again, so that's one thing. I really hope that we're gonna see some progress on that topic in the future there. So 400 people have left the city. Bang. But it doesn't really do anything to you per se. You're just losing a few people for a short period of time, and then everything is good again. Like the assigned zones are not disappearing. It's just a couple of houses being left behind. Look at that. There's actual ruins here. Interesting. I never had an actual city when I dropped down the last time. So this readout here, well, I didn't read it out well enough, I'd say. But that's fine. We're gonna regrow from that. So I'm gonna drop down a fourth farmer's shop here. A third, I mean. But that's gonna reside down here. Because I need a new field over here as well. And these are not gonna be barley fields. These are gonna be flax fields. There we go. Alright, so people will come back sooner or later. I really don't understand the demand on all these zones, though. Or do I need to... I need to demolish that. I see. Ah, once I remove the ruins, these guys are able to resettle there. But I need to remove them manually, I suppose. So... Game tells me I have an insane demand on things here. Okay, but it looks like the situation is more or less under control. I'll still like to increase my my barley production here a bit. Like this is all arable soil, you know. Use every little bit. There we go. So we're seeding flax here and seeding barley here. Awesome. Okay, so my the number of citizens is growing again, and well, the beer transport is running again. I'm really considering to shut down this building to some degree, but that's why I was spending so much grain all of a sudden. I see. But seriously, I'm gonna shut down the brewery for now, at least until these walls are built. Reducing the amount of workers in here should shut down the beer production too, and that should help me to get other stuff done. So there's a port. Buying and selling things is happening here. Awesome. So I can sell off bricks, which I don't need. I can sell off beer. I got 1.7k beer in the town. Wow. So telling them to sell this off once. Continue until cancel. I see. Wonderful. High priority. Cool. So I'm assuming that my beer is now being sold somehow. All right, let's check out what my transporters are up to. So right now, I mean, at some point they must be done with transporting all these things into the base here, or into the warehouse, much more. So they're now transporting all the pottery, so I need to stop producing pottery too. Gosh. So... transport between storage buildings. Priorities all or none. What does priority none say? I'm gonna try a non-prioritization for a moment. Maybe they'll just act randomly, and that's gonna solve my problems. It's really a tricky question to see how they are getting that mud on the walls, but looks like now they're so none seems to mean that they're not busy at all. But wait a sec. I mean, they went inside for a moment, then what? It's an interesting question to see what these guys are up to. So a non-prioritization doesn't really do the trick either. It felt much more like they didn't do anything at all anymore. Strange. Truly strange. So, there's only one guy moving now. And there's a ton of guys moving between here and there. Seems really like the biggest issue here is that I'm trying to produce with mud instead of bricks. I guess if my idea would have been bricks, things would have been already awesome. So I want to construct walls with a high priority there. I really thought that finishing these walls would have been way less of a chore, and I really thought we would have been finished by the end of this today's episode, but look at that. I guess that's my beer. So, let's see. They are running around here and everywhere. I mean, that does look like they're headed to the right spot, but are they actually? So, right now they just keep transporting clay. So, interesting. It's really, really interesting. So they really transport every nonsense, but they seem unable to transport mud to the builder's workshop, or at least they're really not prioritizing it at all. I mean, they did already. It's not like they didn't. Oh, look at that! It looks like they're going over there, and they're delivering mud. Oh my god, I just had to shut down all the other factories. So it looks like mud is just like the lowest tier of construction materials, and if there's anything more interesting than mud, they are foregoing that. I mean, I could have just went with a brick wall there, and I guess that would have been easier to set up, because these guys obviously seem to like to transport brick way more. But, well, at least I found out what the problem was, you know. So now I got tons of flax. Flax gets transformed into linen. So I'm gonna put that up here. Hopefully this will work out. So with the flax, I'm gonna put up a fabrics dyeing spot too. Alright. Awesome. Finally these walls are being finished. I really was losing faith slowly. Alright, nice. So, well, I guess this episode is a really excellent little example on how difficult this game can be in terms of assigning your stuff correctly. And if they are selling that stuff only once, they didn't sell it yet. Alright. At least here work is seeing progress. Okay then. Then it all takes a lot longer than anticipated. But at least I now have discovered what the problem is. So if you want to build anything out of mud, do it during the early game while you're not suffering from any other material, because it really only stopped when I disabled any other material here. And it's neither construction material nor able to nor is it able to store mud in warehouses, so it really slips through all the categories of the game. So I'm actually very relieved that I finally have discovered a workaround by creating this little thing here, enabling that mud can be stored by with the builders, and pretty much disabling anything else which would go into the warehouses or into other storage facilities, because bricks and mud are not storable in the warehouses, and somehow, even if I configure those bad boys to transport construction materials, they will always go for any other job before that. Maybe I would have needed to put these jobs lower. Maybe that would have done something. Anyway, so yeah, that means we're gonna build a big bad temple next episode. I'm just gonna wait a few seconds here until the last pieces of wall are finished, because it can't take that much longer. So I'm going to disable the mud accept thing here. And I just want to show off, at least at the end of this episode, how beautified the buildings are once they receive that upgrade. But well, we're gonna do that next episode. I just realized it takes that friggin' long. I really have no clue why they are why my builders are working that inefficient. They seem to do 1 or 2 strikes in that wall and then they're going home. Whatever, friends. So thank you so much for watching. Upgrades next episode. I'm pretty sure next episode we're also able to put up at least 1 temple. Maybe even the ziggurat. Who knows? Thank you so much. Drop a comment down below. Leave a like. Leave a subscribe. And we're going to see each other again on the next episode, when I'm going to transform this little township into a proper city. See you then. Bye-bye.